Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of Crossroads podcast. So, today in this episode, we have a very special guest amongst us. She is also one of my friends whom I met in Microsoft. Welcome, Kritika. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Guru. Thank you for having me here.
Can you just tell a few things about yourself so that our viewers will get to know you better?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, guys. I'm Kritika. Currently, I'm in my final year of engineering. So, I'm from Gwalior, MP, and I'm in my final year at ITM Group of Institutions. So, right now, yesterday only, I've just completed my internship at Microsoft, and I was working in the office security team. It was a great experience for me. And other than that, I've worked with other organizations like Leading India AI, Omdena, and I was a researcher at Triple IT Allahabad as well. And taking aside my career, I love watching football, I love music, and I love reading. Over to you, Guru.
Okay, that's very nice to hear. So, how was your 2 months internship experience at Microsoft? Like, what all did you get to learn? How was the atmosphere there? How were the teammates and all?
Okay, so I started in Microsoft in the month of May, 11th May to be exact, and the past 10 weeks have been amazing. It has been better than any other internship experience I have ever received. And so I was in the office security team, and my manager, I think he's the most talkative guy I have encountered in Microsoft so far. He
Mhm.
talks a lot. He's the person whom you can claim to be, the life of the party kind of people. He's that. And because of him, I felt so included. And my teammates were not that much talkative, but yeah, we bonded like crazy when we were brainstorming over design discussions and reviewing whatever I have done. My mentors were super helpful. Both of them have gone beyond their way to help me get stable and get settled in the internship program. The learning curve, it was like exponential because first of all, I've never worked in security before, and it was very new to me. I didn't know anything about it, but I somehow coped up. Other than that, so like we had two modules in my internship, and one of them was very unfamiliar. So, and then trying out machine learning in that, it was difficult, but yeah. So learning was also there. Some failures were also there, and I think I bind it up pretty nicely in the end.
Okay, that's nice. So, like, how was a particular day at your internship? Like, what you used to do from morning till evening?
Sure. So I used to get up at 10 in the morning. I know it's pretty late, but my team is flexible.
Mhm.
And so wake up at 10, work for 3 or 4 hours. Then at 2 or 2:30 in the afternoon, I used to have a discussion with my mentor, Priyan, which used to last for about 40-45 minutes regarding
Okay.
design choices or what we need to do in the coming week or the coming few days, what kind of modules we want to build, etc. Then afterwards, like work for 2 or 3 more hours, and then at 5 I used to have a meeting with my manager and my other mentor Rajesh. So Rajesh was he was not like he was not supervising me in every step, but he was more of a person who is used to visualizing the big picture of the project. So he used to take up integral questions like scalability and how are you supposed to bring other teams to your product and etc. These kind of things. So we used to have all these discussions at 5, and it used to last for 30 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes. And then if something else is left, so I used to work in the night as well. So like 2 or 3 meetings a day, and the work for the rest of the time. This was it.
Okay, that's nice. So, how did you get this internship? Like, was it off campus or Microsoft came to your campus itself?
No, it for Microsoft doesn't come to my campus. My campus is a three-tier college, and we are not we are not having the luxury of inviting Microsoft. My
Okay.
internship was totally off campus. So in the month of September last year, a lot of employees of Microsoft were posting on LinkedIn regarding off-campus opportunities. I mailed all of them, whomever I came across, that I
Mm-hmm.
want this internship. I posted a good cover letter. That was my first time drafting it. I had my resume. I sent them my resume as well. And I think one of them was gracious enough that he sent me the link of the first round, the coding round afterwards. That was hosted on Metal. So
Okay.
I did the coding round. There were three questions. Like I think if I classify them on the levels of the difficulty, then easy, medium, medium. So three questions. I solved them in what 50 minutes, and afterwards after 15 or 20 days, I received a mail that I've cleared the first round and then I'll be going for the next round. The next round was in the month of November, the first week of November. And so it was with an employee of Microsoft, and we had a good discussion on data structures and algorithms. I was asked to code three DSA questions live in front of him, and we had discussions related to complexity and how we can optimize the solution further. And one week after that, I received a mail that I've been selected and I'll be invited to the Hyderabad campus for the next round of interviews. Then in Hyderabad, we had two more rounds. So one of them was where we had discussions about all subjects. So there were DSA questions, there were machine learning questions, and there were DBMS, OOPS, and networking questions as well. So that lasted for 1 hour. And I think I did pretty well, even though I fumbled in some questions. After that, so that the fourth round, it was with the senior manager of Microsoft, and it was a semi HR and a bit of a technical round. So I was asked two DSA questions in that, and other than that, we had discussions on how do I see myself in the next 5 years, what am I passionate about, these sorts of things. Yeah.
So in your telephone interview, you told you had 3 DSA questions. Like, how long did the telephone interview go?
So the telephonic interview was of 45 minutes and I had to solve 3 questions. So they were not that difficult. So one of them was based on hashing, the other one was based on string matching, and the third one was based on linked lists. So I solved the 3 questions in the span of 45 minutes.
Okay. That's why I thought 3 questions and how long it might have gone. I had only my interview, like, had only one question, and that too it lasted only for 20 minutes. After that, I had no questions or anything. It was that. That's why.
One question is better, otherwise you are terrified that why is he asking too many questions to me?
I was terrified because he just asked me only one question. I was like, "Is it over? That's it." It was like that for me.
Yeah.
Okay. So after how many days did you get the result for the interview?
I think just after 1 or 2 hours. So we were supposed, when the final round was done, so we were supposed to sit in the waiting room, and the recruiter will get back to us if we are selected or not. And so I was one of the last people to get interviewed. So
Okay.
after me, only 2 or 3 students were left, and I got the results pretty soon after that, when their interviews were over.
So how was the feeling like when they announced your name that you got selected?
So I am very, I think I talk too much and I am very expressive about my feelings. So
Okay.
firstly, when he said that I've been selected, I was like, "Are you sure?" And he stared at me weirdly. And I don't know if he encountered these kind of people before. And he was just staring, and I was like, "Jaldi se batao, are you sure or not?" Then he was like, "No, I'm sure you have been selected." And I think I must have jumped or something, because then everyone was laughing at me.
So like, how many people had come for the interview
We
that
had
day?
26 people in Hyderabad on November 17. 13 girls and 13 boys. And then in the first round, 7 or 8 of them were eliminated. Then the rest of us progressed to the final round, and I think 10 of us got the final internship.
Okay. 10 out of 26 is a good number though.
Yeah, I think they have been lenient with us, to be honest.
Okay. So like your stay and all, everything was sponsored by them, right? Hotels, flights and all during that time?
Yeah, yeah, everything was sponsored, and we got a budget of 8, that the daily hotel expense can be of 8,000. So you can go into a lavish hotel, enjoy the time of your life, and then go to the interview, then come back and have fun again. What's the loss here?
So how did you prepare for the internship? Like what all kind of preparation that you do, data structure and algorithm maybe, or operating systems, DBMS? How was your preparation for this internship?
Okay, sure. So, uh, I didn't prepare very much. I didn't prepare for months for this internship. I started preparing in the month of September, when I found out that we could get off-campus opportunities. So, Mainly for DSA, I did Lead Code, Geeks for Geeks, and Interview Bit. Interview Bit is amazing if you just want to do a limited set of questions, and they have very elegant solutions that you can take on later. And
Mhm.
for DBMS, OOPS, and these subjects, I just did Geeks for Geeks, and I had a good course curriculum I had studied during my college semester, so I was thorough with the basics. Now, what I just needed was a brush up of everything, and Geeks for Geeks is the perfect resort to that. Another thing is that my resume had a lot of machine learning projects and
Yeah, yeah.
experiences. So I had to study a lot about those as well. For that, I was just reading on each and everything that I have ever studied. So I was just reading blogs, making notes, and revising them as we go.
Okay. So, like, when did you start coding and all actually? Like, if you look at your resume, most of it is machine learning and all. Did you start before class, your engineering itself, or you did all of this when you came to engineering?
So in my school, we had coding starting in ninth standard. So in
Okay.
ninth standard, we learned about C++ and just the basic syntax kind of thing. So we did it till pointers. Like that was
In
the yeah in
ninth
ninth.
standard.
Yeah. My school
That's
was
actually nice.
yeah, I think you miss out a lot when if you start coding in the first year itself. So I was well versed with the basics. In 10th, we had HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and
Mhm.
the entire 10th standard we were just supposed to build websites. So I think each and every one of the students in my class we built something like 6 websites in 1 year. That was pretty good if you compare it that a 10th standard kid is doing that.
So, like, what people do in first 2 years, you did all of it in your ninth and tenth
Yeah.
standard itself.
God bless my school on that. So I was well versed with the basics, and then I took a drop. So I dropped a year after. Like I was supposed to start college in 2016, but I dropped a year and started it in 2017. And
Okay.
so 2016 and 17 was the year when I focused a lot on coding. So when when you have the mains exam and then you have 3 or 4 months time
Yeah, yeah.
span,
Mhm.
yeah, so I enjoyed that time a lot, but I also dedicated 3 or 4 hours a day to coding.
So
So
even before you started your engineering.
yeah. So we were like 5 friends who were very much interested and who wanted to get into CS, and we started
Yeah.
coding and searching for online resources on our own and trying out questions. So HackerRank was the website that we used to solve questions at that
Okay.
time. Very simple questions. They have something like 30 days of code, and we solved those during that time.
So you were on hacker rank even before you in 12th after 12th standard itself.
Yeah. So if you just check out internet, so internet is filled with resources, and all you need to do is just get up there. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did.
So like then it might have been a easy sale for you when you came to college and computer science.
Yeah, it was very easy, and I think the one thing that that was good that came out of it is that I was ahead of my peers, and I didn't have to focus a lot on coursework, so I could dedicate a lot of my time to exploring other areas of computer science and just trying them out.
Your resume speaks that like you almost have 4 internships at the end of second year. So can you tell us about those, the one that you did at Omdena, the
Yeah, sure.
internship? How was it there?
Sure. So Omdena it's basically a non-profit organization,
Yeah.
and we have a lot of other non-profits in the world that are unable to build technical solutions for those. And
Mhm.
Omdena collaborates with such other non-profits, and we build technical solutions for them. So it's a consultancy, and we do it for free. So it's everything is free here, and you get to
Mm.
work on some good projects. So with Omdena, I've worked on 3 projects so far. So last year I started working with them on a project that was for Amazon rainforests. So if you remember correctly, last year there was a massive fire outbreak in the Amazon rainforest area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a company called Syntexis in Brazil, and they have put up surveillance cameras around some hot spots in that Amazon rainforest. And
Mhm.
we were able to get data from them, and we built a computer vision based model out of it to classify if any forest outbreak can happen, and we can alert the authorities as soon as we can detect anything related to that. So that was my first project with Omdena. After that, so when this coronavirus outbreak started, and there were a lot of researchers all over the world who were trying to analyze the data. And Omdana, like at Omdana, we are proud to say that we were first of the people who were also interested in analyzing the impact the
Mhm.
government policies are going to have on different segments of population. So this was our second project there. So basically, countries were coming up with massive number of policies, and
Mhm.
a lot of them were not like the right decisions, and they were not very well thought out on how it is going to impact a lot of people. So we classified these sorts of people in different categories, like people who are who are not having proper access to healthcare, people who have lost their wages, people who have lost their employment, and finally, this one is a shocking one: survivors of domestic violence. So we
Mhm.
classified these four segments of population, and then we were doing an extended study and data analysis on, what is the change, like pre-COVID era, post-COVID era, and like during COVID era, what is going to be the change in these three things. So we analyzed a lot on it. We presented the results in front of UN and ILO to demonstrate everything. We had like a demo day. I presented it to them. So yeah, this was like my entire journey at Omdana. It has been great, and I got to meet a lot of new people because Omdana is Omdana takes people from all over the world. So during this coronavirus challenge, we had 40 collaborators, and they were from 21 different countries. So you get a lot of exposure when you work there.
Okay, that's nice. Shreya. So, what would you suggest somebody not like you? You got a head start when you're in class 9 itself. Imagine somebody who comes in first year, he hasn't touched coding before at all. He wants to learn and make it. So, how would you go ahead if you were like that?
I think I have made a lot of mistakes during my journey in my college. What I'll suggest that person is to be very, very strong with your basics. Basics will lay the foundation of anything that you do afterwards.
Mhm.
If you want to do machine learning web, you have to be strong with the basics. You need to understand how a language works and what is the underlying what lies under the hood of that language. You have to understand each and everything, and then you need to focus on a lot of problem solving. So go to HackerRank, go to CodeChef, go to any platform you prefer and solve questions. That way you develop a very good critical and thinking ability, and that is going to help you out in the long term. Then you can proceed forward with like trying out different technologies, and it will be very easy for you, because if you talk about machine learning, a lot of maths is involved, and you need to understand what is happening in each and every algorithm to be very effective in doing that. So if you're having strong basics, so that will be very easy for you. Yeah.
Like, what is a good place to start machine learning? You see, now it's like most of the people, everybody, they come in first year, they do a bit of coding, and then they actually start with machine learning. I want to ask, when is the correct time to start with machine learning, and what should be the resources that we should refer to?
Yeah. I think the correct time to start machine learning is when you're very good with DSA.
Okay.
I mean, that is accurate, and I made that mistake. I did DSA afterwards, and it came back to haunt me when I was preparing for my interviews. I was not that well prepared. So you have to be very good in DSA first, and then you can try out machine learning, because algorithms, the basics, like the
Mhm.
foundations of machine learning, are literally DSA. So if you talk about, there are some graphical algorithms, and there the foundation is Prim's and Kruskal's algorithm. That is like very good. So if you're having a head start on DSA, you are going to understand ML very nicely. And for resources, a lot of people prefer Andrew Yang course, but I honestly thought it's not good, very good for a beginner. You can't understand all the maths and matrices, calculus very nicely if you start from that course. There are other courses like Scikit-learn is the library for ML in Python, right? So the founder of
Mhm.
Scikit-learn, he has a course on YouTube, Andreas Mueller. So his course basically, so he will tell you what is in the algorithm, and then he's going to also tell you about the Python implementation of the algorithm along with some simple projects. And I think that is a very good course that a beginner should start from. Then they can do Andrew Yang afterwards, because it's a bit more difficult and the implementation is entirely in Octave. So you need to learn two different things at the same time, and it can be a bit rough for you.
Okay. So, which is your favorite language? Python, C. What all languages have you worked on so far? I think you
Uh,
might have worked on all.
I think
Like,
Yeah, C++ was a part of my college curriculum, same for Java. And I've worked not a lot, but a bit on web development, so I know a bit of JS. And Python is my main language. I've worked a lot on Python. Even in my internship, I was supposed to work on C Sharp, but then we brought machine learning into the game, and everything was on Python only.
so like you do your coding also in Python itself, data structures and all.
Yeah, I did everything on Python.
Okay, that's nice to hear. So apart from studies and all, what are your other hobbies? Like what all do you do in your free time and all?
Yeah, so first of all, I sleep a lot. So uh,
Yeah.
we are having this interview started at 3, right? And I was sleeping till 2:30. This because yesterday was my last day of internship and I wanted to have some freedom. Other than that, I sing. I've been singing for like since I was 7 or 8, and I do a
Okay.
lot of reading. Yeah, I read a lot. I love reading fiction and mystery novels, so I do a lot of reading. I also love watching football, and I follow 3 teams there: Real Madrid, Juventus because of Ronaldo, and Germany. So I do
Uh,
these 3 things.
you have any videos and all of your songs?
Not on YouTube, not there. I'm not active there, but yeah, I've performed a lot on national level and regional level.
And how many books have you read? Like number of books?
Actually, if you know, Goodreads is a platform, right, for readers. So they
Yeah.
have yearly challenges. So you can mention there that you want to complete 50 books in this year, and then it's going to help you to complete that goal. So I usually have a goal of about 50 books a year, and I try to complete it. I don't think it's going to be completed this year because I was busy with other things. Otherwise, last year I did 48 books. Before that, I did 63 books. So
Oh my.
I
Yeah.
love reading, man. I love reading.
Okay. Okay. And any awards and achievements you received? Like I can see there's one Adobe India Women in Technology Scholarship. What is
Yeah.
it?
So Adobe India Women in Tech Scholarship, like I applied there last year when I was applying for Microsoft as well, and
Mhm.
so basically they were just like 4 or 5 questions, and you had to answer those with honesty, and then you had interviews. And what the benefit is that firstly you're going to get like they're going to pay for your college entire college fees, and
Okay.
secondly you are going to get a research internship at Adobe
Yeah.
India. So I applied there and I got till the final round, but unfortunately I didn't get selected. So I was in the top 8, but they just took 5 people out of it. So that's my biggest achievement so far.
Okay. There are lot many other things in your resume. You've done internship at so many places. It's actually nice. It's good.
Yeah, I think what I've realized is that college curriculum is not sufficient in itself. You need to do a lot more than just study for your semesters. And I've tried to implement that in a way. Yeah.
So that was nice talking to you. So what do you want to do in future? Like this is a question that most of the interviewers ask. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I just like to ask, what are your future plans?
So, well, like you, if I get here, if I get a PPO here in Microsoft, then so I'll be free and I'll be doing anything. But
Hmm.
talking about if I don't, then interview preparation obviously. But I've always wanted to do masters in like combining technology with social studies. It's
Okay.
still in the works, so maybe after 3 4 years I'll do that masters.
Oh, so you're interested to do masters after your work.
I've
That's
always
nice.
wanted to do that, but right now it's not a suitable time. And I also
Hmm.
want to try the corporate world and how it operates because, like, our stint here at Microsoft, it was very great. We felt so included, and it was a great experience for all of us. And I think we need to explore what's there next when we join there full time. So I definitely want to see that. And if I feel that, it's not aligning well with what I envision myself doing for the rest of my life, then maybe I'll go for a master's or a doctorate. I'm open to everything. And
Okay.
yeah.
So what is the situation about the PPO in Microsoft? Like other companies, some of them have given, some of them have not. What is the situation there? How is that right now?
Yeah, so in Microsoft, when we were doing our internship, so in the last week, we all of us had interviews scheduled with or different group engineering managers. And
Mm.
there were some interns had one round of interviews, some of them had two rounds. And Microsoft has said that like they'll tell us the results about the PPO in either the month of August or September, and they'll come in batches. So Guru and me, both of us are hoping that we get in.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get it.
Don't
It's
worry,
no.
both of us are getting in. Don't worry. You will be in Bangalore. I'll be in Hyderabad.
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, Kritika. It was very nice talking to you. You told a lot of things that even I don't know. Like it was even helpful for me. Thanks for that. Yeah, that's it. You have anything to ask or anything to say to the viewers?
No, I don't have much. So if you are a student who is studying computer science, just do your best. There is nothing like if you are in IIT, you are going to get a 2 crore package, and if you are not in an IIT, then you're going to get an Infosys or TCS. It's nothing like that. Just do your best. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that's all. Thank you very much. I'll share much details. I'll share all the links related to her LinkedIn. You have an Instagram account?
No, man, I don't.
Okay. Yeah, whatever LinkedIn profile or maybe her resume, I can share it within the links below. That's it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Okay, sure. Bye, Guru. Have a great day.